Now we're going to talk about chair pose. So chair pose is an excellent posture for building strength in your legs and also helps build a little bit of heat in your body. Chair pose is the one that looks something like this, okay? So all yoga postures happen from the ground up. In your chair pose, you want your mountain pose feet. So your feet, and if you haven't watched that video, go back and watch it first. Super important. So mountain pose feet, your toes together and your heels are apart, or your feet are slightly separated. The most important thing about chair pose is to protect your knees, or at least this is where I see a lot of the discomfort and injury can come from. So people tend to think because chair pose we bend our knees and go back, to bend their knees. And now you see how my knees are bent and they're tracking in front of my toes. Yeah. Whereas before my booty was back and my knees were behind my toes. This way puts a lot of strain on your knees. We're sending the weight from our big old thigh bones straight down into our kneecaps, and it's no good. Also, I'm putting some wacky strain on my heels and my Achilles tendon, telling them to stop because that hurts and I don't like it. So when you come to your chair pose, remember, booty down and back, like a squat. Booty down and back. So all of your weight comes into your heels. You can check your alignment without a mirror by seeing if your toes can hover up off the floor. That means your weight's in the right place, but then keep them down just so you stay grounded and connected to your mat. Also, you can always self-check by looking down at your knees, and if you can see all 10 of your toes, all 10, past your knees, then you're in the right spot. All right, already feeling that. From the front, again, we want to track our joints, stack everything on top of each other. I'm going to take my chair with feet slightly separated. This is an awesome modification for my pregnant mamas, just to give you more balance. You can even take it a little bit wider if you've got a baby in there, right? You need your groundedness. All right, so my feet will be hip-width distance apart, just to over-dramatize what can happen. You sit your hips back and down, and then our knees tend to go, in whatever places that we sort of patterned them to go over our long and beautiful lives. What we want is our knees to be right over our ankles. So avoid knocking them in. Avoid having them come out too far. You'll see that my inner feet come up, so you want all the corners of your feet rooted down. It's fun if you have a yoga block to bring it between your inner thighs. You can really feel that. A little hug in, okay? And then in your back, if you remember your mountain pose video, we have a tendency in our chair pose in particular to be cheerleader. There we go. Or cowboy. A little less so cowboy, but we get a whole lot of cheerleader in chair pose, right? Here I am rocking out my chair. My friends, gotta send some love to that low back. So how do you do that? Same way you do it in mountain pose. You think of lengthening your tailbone down and back to the back corner of your mat or whatever it is that you're practicing on. Hugging your inner rib cage close in towards each other. And again, I want to give a shout out to my girl Christina for showing me this one in another workshop, which here in Hawaii we have our shakas, yeah. So I want everyone to take shakas. You take your second, third, and fourth finger down to your palms. You spread your thumbs and pinkies out. So you can check yourself here. This is also going to make chair pose work for you a little bit. Find chair pose in your legs, so feet hip-width distance. Sit your booty back and down, and I will find my little cheerleader. Place your thumbs on your lowest rib and your pinkies on your hip bone. And now make the space between your pinkies and your thumbs smaller. So you're really actually coming into what will feel like a little bit of an abdominal crunch. That's the activation you want in your low belly to lengthen your spine. All of a sudden, you're sweating like crazy, and your arms in your chair are usually up overhead, just like your mountain pose arms. So your pinkies are turned in towards each other. This is just mountain pose with your booty back. Mountain, booty back chair. Mountain, booty back chair. Sometimes instructors will move the arms around like airplane arms. You just fly your arms up and back. Remember, in airplane arms, your palms face down towards the ground. Sometimes you'll do a little cactus arm, right? But we're really working into our legs in our chair. It's a lot of work. That's the most important part. If that wasn't enough activation for you, I'll show you another trick to really work your muscles into your bones more. So come to your chair pose. I'm going to keep my hands at the center of my heart right now. Now, bring your focus to your heels. Push your heels down into your mat, and then imagine dragging them out from each other. As you just feel your booty and your outer hips turn on. So it's like a little corkscrew, down and out. Yeah, now your shaka, so your belly is working. Keep your shoulder blades broad. And there you go. You can just do chair for 10 minutes to work out for the day. So you're totally winded. Okay, friends, that was chair pose. If you have any questions about it, feel free to send me an email. Allie Houseworth, A-L-L-I, Houseworth, just like it sounds, @gmail.com.